Fire Emblem, Codename Steam, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, downloadable Wii games, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate demos, more Amiibos. I like Nintendo Directs quite a lot. Yes indeed, it has been that time of year once again. A new Nintendo Direct has come and gone, and needless to say, I got pretty fucking hyped. I watched this today live, and the entire way through I was on the edge of my seat for some reason, even during that Mario Party 10 bit. First off, the entire show kicked off with new footage from a Fire Emblem game we didn't even know existed. In Japan it's known as Fire Emblem If, here it's just so far known as Fire Emblem. A beautiful CGI pre-rendered cutscene came on. It looked great. It was more Fire Emblem. I honestly had I have a few questions about the setting. It looks almost like a traditional Japanese building, some of the gameplay footage, and less like a fantasy sort of setting, which is really interesting to me. It looks like it took you to places that, from what I've seen in the series at least, that Fire Emblem hasn't taken you to before, and I quite like the look of that. I doubt that it's actually related to any of the other Fire Emblem games, but my god, another Fire Emblem game is not a bad thing at all. I absolutely fucking loved Fire Emblem Awakening. I thought it was the very best game on the Nintendo 3DS for a very long... I actually think it's still the best game on 3DS. I still do. A Link Between Worlds came out, I was hyped as fuck, but if I was to go back and replay an entire 3DS game, it'd probably have to be either Awakening or maybe Tales of the Abyss, just because I'm a Tales, like, whore. Fire Emblem, new on 3DS, I'm hyped. It's one of those games where I can guarantee that I'll get super excited. However, this does raise some questions. Where the fuck is Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem? The game was announced 2 years ago this month. 2 fucking years ago. And it was during the Direct at this time of year, of course. And so, a lot of people expected, hell, fuck, it's been 2 years and fuck all has been said, except it's still in development. Maybe now, finally, we'll see a crappy trailer, a few screenshots, anything. No, when the Direct kicked off with the Fire Emblem cutscene, I instantly thought, well, shit, this is Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, right? No, it's actually just Fire Emblem. I saw some hench demon golem thing with a massive old man face, and I was like, shit, is that like a Shin Megami Tensei demon? No, apparently it's just some Fire Emblem crap now. That's not a bad thing. I love Fire Emblem, like I said, I'm fucking hyped. But I really could have used some Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, because a lot of people, myself included, are beginning to lose hope. All hope. Next up on, well, was fucking Puzzles and Dragons, is it called? Puzzles and Dragons Z, and they're putting that in a combo pack for EU at least, with Puzzles and Dragons Super Mario Edition or whatever. I've never actually played Puzzles and Dragons, despite it being apparently a mobile phenomenon, but I'm sure it's great and everything. Aside from Puzzles and Dragons, it wasn't the only puzzle game announced today. Another game was Pokemon Shuffle, which was said to be a free Pokemon puzzle game for the Nintendo 3DS. It looked like your generic match free to clear a row puzzle game, a lot like Bejeweled, but it had Pokemon faces. I have absolutely no idea why this is free, or whether they're sort of going to implement some sort of free-to-play system. There was like a limited number of moves, so I have a feeling it's possible that you could buy more moves with, say, I would like it to be play coins. More realistically, it's going to be a small amount of paid DLC, especially since it's a free-to-play game. This is a sort of environment that Nintendo has been looking into and experimenting with, but never anything confirmed or concrete. And as a result, it's a little bit more difficult to judge where they're going to go with it. Next up on the agenda was downloadable fucking Wii games. That is incredible, especially with the starting prices that they are saying they're using. The starting price for the games are, well, the standard price will be £20 or €20. I'm a bit annoyed that it's like £20 and €20, even though euros is a significantly less valuable currency, but whatever, well, that's just us getting fucked again. Tenner, well, the first week that each game comes out, it'll be half price. So that's a tenner, €10, $10, etc. And that's a pretty fucking good price. Okay, guys? Like, there's Super Mario Galaxy 2 coming out week 1 for Europe. Week 2 is Donkey Kong Country Returns. I should note that it's Punch-Out in America. And then it's Metroid Prime Trilogy on week 3. Each of those you can get for $10, £10, €10. And each of those is well fucking worth $10, £10 or €10. That's an incredible price. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, there's no upscaling or anything like that, but it's going to be well worthwhile. And it's one of those things, and they've confirmed this now, where you will be able to use the Wii U gamepad and the controls on it like a classic controller. So you can very well sit there with someone else watching the TV, and you could be playing full Wii games with just the gamepad, and that's spectacular. Of course, I can't imagine that would extend to games that require a Wii Remote and Nunchuck. That would be somewhat nonsense, so that's fine. However, the idea of, say, sitting there playing Xenoblade Chronicles, the original, of course, just with the gamepad, that's a great idea. That's something I've always wanted to do as well. I would love them to extend that, that turning it into a classic controller. I'd love for them to extend that into Wii mode in general, so I could just put in a Wii game disc and start the game up and just play it on the gamepad. However, I don't see that being entirely likely, to be perfectly honest. It's a shame, because I really want them to do it. I really do. But they've confirmed nothing, and as a result, I'm terrified they'll do nothing as usual. For the EU Direct, at least, not for the US one, of course. Next up, we had Amiibos. More fucking Amiibos. Like, this isn't something like I've really spoke about on my channel at all, but I fucking love Amiibos. And I've heard this said by others before, and this is the reason I get them. When I was a kid, I would have done anything for a Fox McCloud figure. I would have done anything for, you know, figures from games like Smash Bros. Or other Nintendo games. Figures that just don't fucking get released here. You might see the odd one in Japan, you could even import them, but you don't get those released here. You're not gonna get a Fire Emblem character normally just with a figure. Thanks to games like Smash Bros., this has finally become something that is totally fucking happening, okay? Once upon a time, you would have to kill someone or even make it yourself to get a Link figure or a Zelda figure for under £20. And now they're just throwing these figures at you for a tenner each. And to be honest, I'm all for that. The extra DLC or whatever compatibility these things have with whatever game, for me, that is just a bonus. I have become somewhat of an addict with a fucking collection disorder. Every time an Amiibo announces that, well, that's going to be rare, I'm just throwing money at it. Like, I've got fucking Diddy Kong. I fucking hate Diddy Kong. I think he's a prick. Someone told me he was going to be rare. I've seen him in bare shops since then. Pretty pissed off about that, to be honest. But what the fuck are you going to do? I'm happy. I love Amiibos, and the more Amiibos is all good for me. I'm going to buy Robin straight away. I'm going to buy Lucina straight away. I fucking really want Ness and Charizard, but we'll see. Robin, Lucina, Ness, I think I'm going to have to like pre-order from that wave, because those three look like they're going to be rare pretty fast. I can't imagine that many people, especially in Europe, know or care about Ness, especially since Earthbound was only released here last fucking year. So those characters I see going out of stock, going into rarity very quickly indeed. If you like those characters and you like Amiibos, you want to get in there fast. A little while ago, just before the Direct, there was sort of a leaked leaflet, a Nintendo advertising leaflet, advertising the new 3DS XL. And in the picture, there was a small, it was said an Amiibo compatible, and there was a small Mario figure in the leaflet. If you've heard about this news story and you've seen it around, go back and look at that leaflet. I remember looking at it and thinking, they've either used some generic artwork and just stuck it on the top of a stand and said it's an Amiibo, or that's a new confirmed Amiibo right there. Turns out it's a new confirmed Amiibo. I honest to God thought they had just threw in some generic artwork. No, it's a new Amiibo. There's 6 in the Super Mario series. 5 of them are already sort of out, because we have Amiibos now. We have Super Smash Bros. Amiibos. And in this Super Mario wave is Mario, Peach, Toad, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser. 5 of those are already out thanks to Smash Bros. Sets. Toad is not, he's new, and he will be compatible with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker when he releases, thanks to a free update. I'm not sure what he will do in the game, but it's just a little bit odd that they've released these amiibos and they do exactly the same thing NFC wise as the Super Smash Bros. Waves, and I can't get hyped for these ones at least, just because they are so similar, and I think the poses aren't as good. Certainly Mario looks very much more generic and chirpy, as does Peach, as does Toad. However, the figures, they look more detailed in their features, should I say. I'm looking at my own Peach figure, my Peach amiibo, and then I'm looking at the Peach amiibo in the Super Mario Wave, and I have to say the Super Mario one looks better. However, the Super Smash Bros. Characters in general look more detailed. So whereas the Super Smash Bros. Peach has all these trims on her dress and it looks very detailed and fancy, the Super Mario Wave is going very plain, very basic, but at the same time it looks like that is going to look higher quality overall in the end. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait until they come out to see for sure, and that's going to be sometime in May or March. I think, shit, I should have a date for that. Yeah, it's March for the Super Mario Wave, and then I believe it's April for the new Smash Bros. Waves, including Lucina and Robin. Then there's Mario Party 10 stuff, and I've got to tell you, not crazy about Mario Party. Never have been. For me, it's too much luck of the draw. It's too much randomness. There is a new Amiibo mode, and I gotta say, the only thing the Amiibo mode seemed to really do was just some custom statistics. And it looked like a figure hopping around the board instead of like an animated character model, which for me seems like a really odd choice. I can't say I'm a massive fan of that. Next up, we had Big Man himself just talking about Project Treasure, which is a brand new Namco Bandai. It is Namco Bandai now, right? Yeah. Brand new Namco Bandai free-to-play game for the Wii U, and that's going to come exclusively to the Wii U, and that's really interesting. First off, I'm guessing Nintendo, you know, they're having a good relationship with Namco Bandai at the moment. I'm guessing that really helped the reason why it's exclusive. But is there anything unique they can bring to the table? Namco Bandai do have experience in the free-to-play market now. Will they be Robin Mans like with fucking Soul Calibur? What was it? Soul Calibur Lost Swords, was it? That was a piece of shit. I really like Soul Calibur, and I played that and I was like, holy fuck, this is awful. This is horrible. It's just not good. However, the free-to-play Tekken game I actually thought was alright, all things considered. So, fingers fucking crossed that turns out to not be a piece of shit, because I'm all for free-to-play games as long as they have decent money-making models and they're not robbing me, and I don't feel fucking robbed of either money or a game experience. And in Soul Calibur Lost Swords case, definitely fucking felt like I was losing an experience. Next up was Splatoon, and they confirmed a hub world, a hub area where you can talk to other people, and you can customize your character with items, accessories, for both cosmetic change and also changes of stats like defense and attack. And I fucking love that. I love everything I've seen of Splatoon so far. Absolutely love just everything about it. When I saw it was when it was announced at E3 and I just thought it was an online multiplayer shooter, I was like, Jesus Christ, Nintendo have put fucking the Nintendo magic in a multiplayer shooter with a brand new IP. No, forget that shit. They gave it a single player puzzle mode, which I'm sure is going to be fairly expansive, and that looks great. And these weird octopus v squid thing they're doing, oh god, yeah, it looks great. I'm super excited. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the idea of the customizations and the secondary weapons and the main weapons, and just everything looks great. I really think this game looks varied and accessible and a lot of fun. After that, there was an incredible Xenoblade Chronicles X trailer. It still looks gorgeous. It still looks lovely. Most importantly about this trailer, we all know the game looked good. We've seen long pieces of gameplay thanks to E3 Nintendo. What was that even called at E3? Nintendo Treehouse, right. And in this new trailer, they've shown off a few more different environments. We've seen a lot of that large sort of grassy plain environment, and that, you know, it looks great and everything, but we've seen a lot of it. And now we're seeing a few more different environments. We've seen them by night, we've seen them by day. It looks like we're getting a snow environment. It looks like we're getting a sand environment, some sort of desert, and it looks just beautiful. just beautiful. Xenoblade Chronicles look great on the goddamn Wii, and on Wii U, this game looks incredible. The scale looks incredible. The vehicles, the areas are just I'm super excited. As soon as that game, Xenoblade Chronicles, came out, as much as I love the Wii and I love the game, I did say to myself, I want to see what this developer could do on a HD capable console, and here it fucking is. Here's the HD capable console. Here's what they can do, and what they can do a fucking lot. I'll tell you that. So yeah, needless to say, I'm excited for Xenoblade Chronicles X. Next up in the Direct, we have this game is something I'm going to enjoy, and I know that, but it's not the reason I'm excited for it. Mario vs Donkey Kong Tipping Stars, in case you haven't ever played one, is quite a simple sort of little puzzle game where you basically guide an automatically walking Mario figure through these worlds. Originally it was about, what was it, Rise of the Minis, and the Minis were all evil or some shit. I can't even remember how the game goddamn well started out. But nowadays there's quite a detailed stage creation tool, and there seems to be a lot of fun stuff to do. I'm really looking forward to it, but that's not the reason I'm really interested in this announcement. It was the fact that it's cross-buy compatible. Whether you buy it on the Wii U or Nintendo 3DS, you'll get a download code for the game on the other system. And I fucking love that. It's a bit strange that Nintendo can't automatically add the game to your specified account. I don't know how they're going to distribute the download codes either, but it seems a bit weird. What if you only own a 3DS? Do you buy the game and then just give a pal the Wii U version? It doesn't seem like it should be in Nintendo's best interest. But at the same time, maybe this is how they spread adoption rates on both their consoles. A little bit interesting, I suppose, but it's definitely not a major thing, I've got to tell you that now. After that, they finally spoke about the new 3DS. People who have watched my unboxing video and my poor review, I'm sorry, it was a poor review, my bad, will know that I actually really like the new Nintendo 3DS for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of pluses to it that I really admire, and they've confirmed that is coming out February 13th. And let me tell you, February 13th is a pretty fucking big day. What we're getting on February 13th, we're getting Majora's Mask 3D, we're getting new 3DS, we're getting Monster Hunter. I swear there was other shit as well that I'm potentially forgetting right now. But that's a big day. I think for me it was probably biggest because I saw the announcement of the Majora's Mask 3DS, and I was like, holy shit, I need to get one of those. On that note, if anyone wants to buy a new Nintendo 3DS Ambassador Edition, you should leave me a message. But I'm really excited for that Majora's Mask 3DS, I'll tell you now. That shit's got me hyped. Another interesting announcement, which again, keyword's interesting, is, I can't say exciting, is the Nintendo Anime channel, which they're going to be launching on the Nintendo 3DS. And the Nintendo Anime channel will have, and they've said, episodes of Pokemon, episodes of Kirby, and episodes of Inazuma 11, and fuck all announced thus far. Interesting that they're all Nintendo franchises and nothing else. It looks like the Nintendo Anime channel might be just another way for Nintendo to push their brand marketing and get their brand out there and into people's hands and eyes, so they can, you know, it's more about people loving those Nintendo characters. They have heard of Kirby, they've seen him in Smash Brothers, they've seen his figure, they watch a couple of episodes of his show, or the kids do, and suddenly they're big fans. That's how it works, or at least that's how Nintendo hopes. It worked with Pokemon, and I can understand where they're going for, but unless you're into the more child-friendly programming, I can't see that being exciting. Having said that, I've watched so many episodes of that Kirby show, and I'm not going to stop now, so yeah. There was a brief period where the Kirby show was a channel on the original Wii, and I watched a lot of it. There's some more talk about Codename Steam. No real footage that we haven't seen before, aside from the Fire Emblem figure footage, I think. So all the Fire Emblem figures, so that's Marth, Ike from Marth from Wave 1, Ike from Wave 3, and then Lucina and Robin from Wave 4 even. They are all going to be compatible with Codename Steam, and they all get their own little characters that they can run around, and they get their own little character portraits, which are adorable. And yeah, that looks like that was a game I was interested in anyway, because it was just a fucking intelligent systems turn-based RPG type thing. I'm not even sure if it's fully turn-based, but I was already looking forward to it. The addition of Fire Emblem characters for me is only a bonus. Ace Combat, Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy Plus. It's just, it's more Ace Combat. If you liked Ace Combat before, you like Ace Combat now. There are Amiibo plain skins, I guess. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate gets a decent spotlight with Ryozo. Oh god, I'm gonna mess this up. Ryozo Sugimoto? Sugimoto? Yeah, that'll do. He had a few choice words to say, and they announced the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate new 3DS XL, and that looks lovely. I still want the Majora's Mask one though. Monster Hunter 4 looks really good, and it's important that they gave everyone, well, I say everyone, they gave out demo codes for it today, and in the same vein as their Super Smash Bros. For 3DS demo codes, it was limited Club Nintendo members that found them in their inbox. Very happy that I got some. Thank you very much, Nintendo. You've been really good to me lately. You gave me the Ambassador stuff, you gave me the Smash Bros. Demos. You've been really good to me, Nintendo. Come on. And so I'm really happy with all of that. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate looks like a more action-based experience, because in the past there's a lot of timing involved and there's a lot of thinking, and Monster Hunter, I feel like it has a really steep learning curve that rewards you a lot for getting into it, but the learning curve has always been a bit too steep for me. I have Monster Hunter 3 on Wii U, or Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on Wii U. I've had Monster Hunter 3 in the past, and I gotta say, I've never been that hyped. I gotta say. But now, yeah, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, I'm really interested in, especially since I have a friend of mine who's willing to get it with me and play through it with me. I think one of the problems I was always having was trying to play it alone, basically. I'm looking forward to playing the demo with him, to be perfectly honest. Continuing, the next game that we're talking about is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, of course. Just confirming most of the stuff we already knew. A few new bonuses are on there. There's a really rubbish bottom screen, to be honest. Some of the enemies look really nice. The graphics are downgraded. You can see up close 3D character models. There is a jukebox mode that works. If you have headphones in, you can leave the jukebox mode on and just put the 3DS in your pocket and jam to Xenoblade Chronicles tunes. I'm not sure how many people will be taking advantage of that, especially since most people could just download the Xenoblade Chronicles soundtrack or something. But you know, it's nice to have those options. A little comparison video with Majora's Mask on the Nintendo 64 and Majora's Mask 3D on the Nintendo 3DS. And you know what? It obviously looks better. It quite obviously looks better. I am super excited for this game. I'll be crying if I don't get that special edition Nintendo 3DS XL, because it looks gorgeous, and yeah, needless to say, I'm very excited. I've seen in France they are definitely getting the Skull Kid figure that we've seen as a pre-order in America. We are definitely getting that, at least as a bundle with the console, at least in France. I'm hoping that comes to EU, because I will pre-order the shit out of that so fast. So fast. And then to finish is a really interesting one that I already knew about and I hadn't heard about in ages, and that's Ironfall. Now known as Ironfall Invasion. Ages ago, the developers put out a video saying the game was great, it was 60 frames per second, it was full 3D, they were basically pushing the Nintendo 3DS system to its absolute limits, and they did a very good job. And it looks like now Nintendo are fully backing them, because Ironfall Invasion got the last note in the Nintendo Direct. And even though it does sort of, to me, look like a somewhat generic third-person shooter, it's really interesting to see this full 3D shooter experience running in 60 frames per second on the Nintendo 3DS. There will be extra features or something for the new Nintendo 3DS. Maybe they'll be taking the limits of that system to the max. But that's really interesting. I'm looking forward to Ironfall Invasion, if only to see what exactly the 3DS console is capable of when pushed to its absolute limits. And that was pretty much the entirety of the EU Nintendo Direct. I'm sorry it went on so long, I really didn't expect this rant to. But all in all, let's get the basics down. Fire Emblem, exciting as shit. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, that's good. Majora's Mask at 3D, I'm excited for. New 3DS I need, and there's going to be Xenoblades, more Xenoblades. Oh god. All in all, it was a pretty good Direct, a pretty good start to the year. I had a feeling that there wouldn't be much of a focus on Wii U titles, because for Wii U we already really know what's coming out this year. We know we've got Splatoon, we know we've got Yoshi, we know we've got Kirby, we know we've got Xenoblade. Did I mention Zelda and Star Fox? I should have done. We already know about those titles. For the 3DS, there wasn't much in it this year. We had Codename Steam to get hyped about and Majora's Mask 3D, and I think before this Direct at least, those are the only two titles this year that you could really get hyped for. Now we definitely know that Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is coming. We know that the new Nintendo 3DS is coming out early February 13th, that's great. All the dates have been rolling in, and there's more reasons to get excited for the new 3DS, especially since a lot more games are either going to be utilising the new 3DS hardware in some way. It looks like most of these games are just, you know, Amiibo support, but that's fine. It's better than nothing, and to be honest, the more uses I can get out of these £10 figures, the better, because it's I'm much more in favour of buying a £10 figure which can be used across a multitude of games, as opposed to buying a £4 piece of DLC that I can use on a single game, if you catch my drift. Anyway, those are my opinions on the Nintendo Direct in Europe for the 14th of January 2015, the first one of the year, and it was a pretty good one. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but I got pretty goddamn excited, and the only thing I'm worried about is how much money I'm going to lose in the next few months, because shit, man, I need those Amiibos, I need that 3DS, I need more fucking money to afford all this shit. Thank you very much for watching Odders Plays. You've been listening to me rant about Nintendo for a while. I hope you subscribe and stick around, because I really like Nintendo, and if you're listening to this, you probably do too, right? So yeah, stick around, we'll get along, we can chat and shit. Look forward to more videos coming soon. I'm going to try and be more regular for a change, because I've been really slacking. But in general, thank you very much for listening, watching, whatever. And yeah, stick around, please.